The Battle of Haelen, fought on August 12, 1914, was one of the first significant clashes on the Western Front during World War I and became an early example of how traditional military tactics were being rapidly outpaced by modern technology and strategy. The battle took place near the small Belgian town of Haelen, situated along the River Giet, and was part of Germany's broader execution of the Schlieffen Plan, a strategy aimed at quickly defeating France by sweeping through neutral Belgium and outflanking French forces. The Germans underestimated Belgian resistance, expecting a swift breakthrough, but the Belgians had mobilized quickly and fortified key defensive points, including Haelen, to slow the German advance. Belgian forces, led by General Léon de Witte, consisted largely of cavalry, supported by infantry, machine guns, and artillery. De Witte made a crucial decision to dismount his cavalry units and deploy them as infantry behind defensive positions such as railway embankments, bridges, and stone buildings, recognizing that cavalry charges would be suicidal against modern firearms. The German force, primarily composed of the 2nd Cavalry Division under General George von der Marwitz, approached Haelen expecting minimal resistance and relying heavily on traditional cavalry tactics that involved mounted charges with lances and sabers. The Germans began their attack in the early morning, initially probing Belgian defenses with reconnaissance and light cavalry, but soon escalated the engagement with full cavalry assaults. They attempted to storm the bridge at Haelen and cross the Giet River but were met with intense fire from entrenched Belgian troops using machine guns and rifles. The flat terrain around Haelen offered little cover, and the German cavalry was exposed and vulnerable during their charges. Time and again, the Germans launched mounted attacks that were repelled with severe casualties. The Belgian forces effectively used their superior defensive positions and fire discipline to inflict heavy losses. Belgian artillery, strategically placed, also played a key role in halting German advances and disrupting their formations. By mid-afternoon, the battlefield was strewn with fallen horses and cavalrymen, many of whom wore the iconic silver pickelhaube helmets that would give the battle its popular nickname, the Battle of the Silver Helmets. Despite attempts to flank the Belgian positions and reinforce the assault, the Germans failed to gain ground. De Witte's forces, though outnumbered, maintained discipline and held their lines throughout the day. Eventually, realizing the futility of further attacks and the high cost in lives, the German commanders ordered a withdrawal. The battle ended in a clear tactical victory for Belgium, with German losses estimated at over 150 dead, 600 wounded, and more than 200 taken prisoner, while Belgian casualties were significantly lower. The outcome of the Battle of Haelen did not stop the German invasion of Belgium, but it delayed their advance and dealt a psychological blow to the myth of cavalry supremacy in modern war. It also gave Belgium and the Allied powers an early propaganda victory, proving that small, well-prepared forces could resist the mighty German army. More importantly, the battle symbolized the end of an era. It exposed the obsolescence of mounted warfare in the face of industrialized firepower and foreshadowed the brutal, mechanized trench warfare that would soon dominate the Western Front. The Battle of Haelen remains a poignant example of the clash between 19th-century military traditions and the brutal reality of 20th-century war.